Hi, this is our psychology and film assignment. I'm Coble Wilson.
And I'm William Warncke.
And we looked at the psychology of the film Full Metal Jacket by Stanley Kubrick. More specifically, we looked at the psychology of Private Leonard Lawrence. He goes by the nickname Gomer Pyle after Gunnery Sergeant Hartman gives it to him, much to his disliking. Now, Private Pyle is not really fit for the Marine Corps. He's a large and kind of dim-witted man who's constantly bullied and harassed by the drill sergeant and his peers. He does seem to get along with Joker, but at some point Hartman finds a jelly donut in Pyle's footlocker. This incident causes a collective punishment policy to be enacted, which in turn means the other men in the platoon become angry at Pyle every time that he screws up, because he isn't punished, but the platoon is. This leads to him being hazed and beaten by the other cadets with a bunch of socks filled with soap. This hazing incident with the socks is where an overnight change takes place in Leonard's attitude and psyche.
We believe that Leonard's mental disorder could be post-traumatic stress disorder. The Mayo Clinic defines PTSD as a mental health condition that's triggered by a terrifying event, either experiencing it or witnessing it. Symptoms may include flashbacks, nightmares, and severe anxiety, as well as uncontrollable thoughts about the event. PTSD is an anxiety disorder. People with PTSD have intense, disturbing thoughts and feelings related to their experience that last long after the traumatic event has ended.
We gave Leonard this diagnosis because he has a mental break after the soap incident and goes insane pretty much overnight. He experienced a truly traumatic event, and that pushed him over the edge. He was surrounded by people who hated him and found few to no friends. He was confined to one small training facility and had no escape in this situation. Eventually, later in the night, he confines himself to an even smaller facility in the bathroom, where he confronts Sergeant Hartman and kills him. He believed that being an infantryman in Vietnam was a sure death, and so he takes his own life in order to avoid going to Vietnam. It seems reasonable that Private Pyle's weakened mental and emotional state was the result of PTSD. This PTSD was inflicted from the hazing and his confrontations with the drill sergeant that led to a complete mental collapse.
So we don't really know exactly what Private Pyle had in the movie. It is never stated, but PTSD is our best guess. But there are a few cases of PTSD in the real world where people act in violent ways, especially domestic abuse. People with depression added on have a higher chance also, which Leonard could possibly have due to his loneliness and exile by his peers. Even though there are cases of violent behavior, cases like Leonard are very rare, and it ultimately seems that his mental disorders are exaggerated to give emphasis to certain aspects of the Vietnam War Kubrick wanted to show, like how war/training can truly change a person, and also to add more entertainment value to the movie as a whole, which definitely works because that bathroom scene is very iconic and attempts to show the horrors of the war.
And that's our diagnosis of Leonard Lawrence, a.k.a. Private Gomer Pyle, in the movie Full Metal Jacket. We believe that he suffered from PTSD due to the traumatic events he suffered while his time in the Marine Corps.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.